The air in Madrid crackled with energy. It was the night of the 2025 Champions League final. The newly renovated Santiago Bernabéu Stadium was more than just a ground. It was a cathedral of football. Fans from all over the world had come to see this special match. The white shirts of Real Madrid supporters mixed with the sky blue of Manchester City fans. Every seat was filled. The noise was incredible. You could feel the history and the hope in every single cheer. This was not just a game. It was an event that the whole world was watching, a celebration of the beautiful game at its very best. This final felt different. It felt like the future had arrived. New technology was everywhere. Fans could use augmented reality on their phones to see player stats in real time. The giant screens showed amazing replays from every possible angle, but the real excitement was on the pitch. A new generation of stars was ready to shine. All eyes were on players like Jude Bellingham for Madrid and Phil Foden for City. They were the young heroes of modern football. They played with skill, speed, and a passion that inspired millions. This final was a showcase for their incredible talent. The two teams represented the best of football. Manchester City, the powerful English champions, were a machine. They were coached by the brilliant Pep Guardiola. They played with precision and control, dominating every team they faced. On the other side was Real Madrid, the kings of Europe. They had a special relationship with this competition. They played with heart, belief, and a touch of magic that could never be explained. It was a classic battle, the unstoppable force of City against the immovable spirit of Madrid. The world held its breath, ready for the drama to begin. As the famous Champions League anthem played, the camera focused on the players. You could see the determination in their eyes. Erling Haaland, City's goal-scoring giant, looked calm and ready. For Madrid, the young Brazilian sensation, Endrick, stood on the biggest stage of his life. He was only 18 years old, but he carried the hopes of the Madrid fans on his shoulders. This was more than just a final. It was a story waiting to be written. It was a clash of styles, a clash of generations, and a clash of footballing giants. The referee blew the whistle and the journey began. From the very first whistle, Manchester City showed their power. They moved the ball with incredible speed and accuracy. Their passing was a blur of blue. The Real Madrid players were forced to defend deep in their own half. Kevin De Bruyne, the mastermind in City's midfield, was pulling all the strings. He found space where there was none and created chances with his perfect passes. The home crowd tried to lift their team, but City's control was absolute. They looked like a team on a mission, determined to silence the Bernabéu and claim the trophy for themselves. The pressure was constant, and soon it paid off. In the 15th minute, the breakthrough came. Phil Foden danced past a defender on the left wing. He looked up and sent a perfect cross into the box. It flew over the Madrid defenders, finding its target, and that target was Erling Haaland. The Norwegian striker rose high into the air, a powerful force of nature. He met the ball with his head and it flew into the back of the net. The City fans erupted in celebration. It was a classic Haaland goal, strong, direct and unstoppable. City had the lead and it felt deserved. For a moment, the great stadium fell quiet. The early goal was a huge blow to Real Madrid's confidence. Manchester City continued to press, wanting to score a second goal to finish the game early. They kept the ball and Madrid chased shadows. It would have been easy for the home team to lose hope. Many lesser teams would have crumbled under such intense pressure from Guardiola's side, but this is Real Madrid, and this is the Champions League. They have a spirit that never dies. They looked at each other, they regrouped, and they remembered who they were. Slowly but surely, the tide began to turn. Led by the energy of Bellingham in midfield, Madrid started to fight back. They won tackles. They started to pass the ball with more confidence. The crowd responded, their voices growing louder with every positive play. Just before halftime, the magic happened. The ball found its way to the young Brazilian Endrick on the edge of the box. With a quick turn, he created a little bit of space. He shot the ball with power and precision. It flew past the diving goalkeeper and hit the back of the net. The Bernabéu exploded. It was 1-1. Hope was alive. The second half began with a new intensity. Both teams knew that the next goal could be the winner. The game became a thrilling end-to-end battle. It was a chess match played at full speed. Manchester City tried to re-establish their calm passing game. Real Madrid, full of confidence after their goal, pressed high up the pitch. Every tackle was hard, every pass was crucial. The tension was so thick you could feel it in the air. The players gave everything, running until their legs hurt. Neither side was willing to give an inch in this incredible contest for Europe's biggest prize. The goalkeepers became the heroes of the half. First, City's Ederson made a spectacular save. Vinicius Jr. cut inside and curled a beautiful shot towards the top corner. It looked like a certain goal, but Ederson flew through the air and pushed the ball away with his fingertips. The crowd gasped. It was a moment of pure brilliance. Not long after, it was Thibaut Courtois' turn to shine for Madrid. De Bruyne unleashed a powerful strike from distance. It was heading for the bottom corner, but the tall Belgian keeper got down low to make an unbelievable stop. Both keepers were playing the game of their lives. As the minutes ticked away, the game became more stretched. Legs were getting tired and minds were getting weary. This is when mistakes can happen. A misplaced pass from City gave Madrid a chance to counter-attack. Bellingham ran the length of the pitch, but his final shot went just wide of the post. Then a rare defensive error from Madrid allowed Haaland another chance. He was one-on-one with Courtois, but the goalkeeper stood tall and blocked the shot. The crowd was on the edge of their seats. Every single moment felt like it could be the final, decisive one. The referee blew the whistle for the end of 90 minutes. The score was still 1-1. The players collapsed to the ground, exhausted. They had given their all, but it was not enough to find a winner. Now they had to face extra time, 30 more minutes of brutal, high-stakes football. The managers gave their final instructions. The fans sang their hearts out, trying to give their heroes one last push of energy. The tension in the Bernabeu was almost unbearable. The Champions League final was going to the wire. Who would hold their nerve? Who would become the hero? Extra time was a war of attrition. The players were running on empty, their bodies screaming in protest. Every step was an effort. The game was slower now, more cautious. Both teams were afraid of making that one fatal mistake that could cost them the trophy. The first period of extra time passed with few clear chances. It was all about courage and endurance. The managers made changes, bringing on fresh legs to try and find a spark. The crowd never stopped singing, their voices hoarse but their spirit unbroken. They were living every moment with their players on the pitch, sharing their pain and their hope. Then, in the 118th minute, came a moment of pure football magic. It was a moment that defied time. Luka Modric, the timeless Croatian maestro, received the ball in midfield. He was 39 years old, perhaps playing in his last ever final. He looked up and saw a run. It was a run from the young Endrick, the 18-year-old star. With the outside of his right foot, Modric played a pass that was simply perfect. It was a pass that split the tired City defence in two. It curved beautifully into the path of the young Brazilian. It was a pass that only a true genius could see and execute. Endrick ran onto the perfect pass. He was clear on goal. The weight of the world was on his young shoulders. For a split second, time stood still. The goalkeeper rushed out to close him down, but Endrick was calm. He was cool. He gently lifted the ball over the keeper and into the empty net. The stadium exploded into a noise that was beyond description. It was a sound of pure joy and disbelief. Endrick ran to the corner flag, overcome with emotion. His teammates mobbed him. He had done it. The boy from Brazil had scored the winning goal in the Champions League final. The final whistle blew moments later. Real Madrid were champions of Europe again. Tears of joy streamed down the players' faces. Modric, the old legend, hugged Endrick, the new hero. It was a beautiful image, the past and the future of football together in a moment of triumph. The celebrations were wild. The players lifted the famous trophy high into the Madrid night sky as confetti rained down. This match was more than a final. It was a story about resilience, about the magic of football, and about how legends are made. The Miracle of Madrid will be remembered forever.